Hello and welcome again to another program under the banner of Ion Education, all things educational in the town of Montville. My name is Dave Rowley. I am board chair, and we're going to be focusing today on all things that are related to the Board of Education. I have with me two guests that are the newest members to our Board of Education. We have Valerie Smith to my right, and to my far right, Kim Navetta. In a moment, we'll talk more about the function of the Board of Education and some of the recent programs that we've been looking at and endeavoring to be successful with, and we'll get to those after the interview with Valerie and Kim. So welcome, first of all, and thanks for coming on the set with me today. Start with you, Valerie. Tell us a little bit about where you were brought up and you're living here in Montville now, and you have children in the system, or have had them in the system. You have a son, right? That
Correct.
is over at one of the other schools.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, tell us a little bit about your background. We'll get started.
Okay. Again, my name is Valerie Smith. I was actually born and raised in Wales. I've lived there for 19, 20 years. I moved to the United States, and actually went to college in the United States. Went to undergraduate at Ohio University. I then stayed there for 3-4 years, and then I came back and went to graduate school here in Connecticut. So I actually started at Greater Hartford Community College. So I have an associate's, 2 bachelors, and an MBA, and a master's in education, all primarily in the United States. I was married. I'm now a widow. I have 3 kids. My oldest daughter, Nikia, was a basketball player in the town. She's at graduate school right now at Gallaudet. I have a middle daughter, Kiana, who was 11th grader, and I have a son, Darius, who is 13, who goes to St. Bernard's.
Very
School.
good. And you're employed here in town or out of town?
Yes. No, I work for the state of Connecticut. I am a teacher for the Department of Corrections. So I work at Rogowski Correctional. And I've been there 19 years.
What do you teach there?
I'm a pre-GED teacher, but actually it depends based on our population. I teach a pre-GED, which is primarily grades 5 through 9. And then we have a GED program, high school equivalent program, which is then 9 through 12. But depending on our population, I can go anywhere from teaching the fifth grade level all the way to high school. And I teach primarily all the subjects. So
Well-rounded person then.
I try to be.
Yeah, of course. Kim, let's move to you. Tell us a little bit about your background and what leads you up to being a new Board of Education member.
Well, I grew up in Ohio, just a few miles from Lake Erie, Geneva, Ohio. And I didn't move to Connecticut until I finished college. I went to a small all-women's college there, and just outside of Cleveland, Notre Dame College of Ohio. At the time I went to college there, it was an all-women's college, very small. And moved here in 1988 to Connecticut to work for Pfizer. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry. And moved here to work for Pfizer, and I've been with Pfizer for the past 25 years. I'm still there in Groton, Connecticut. I'm in drug research, or drug safety research. And I have 2 children. They are both at the Coast Guard Academy now. They're 2010 and 2012 graduates of Montville High School, and class of 2014 and 2016 at the Coast Guard Academy. And they both had a fantastic experience here at Montville High School. And actually through the Montville schools, they started here in, my son was in 4th grade, my daughter was in 6th grade. And they had such a great experience in chatting with the former superintendent, Pam Aubin. She suggested that might be a natural progression for me, since my kids were out of the house, to consider serving on the Board of Ed. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought that is a great way to serve my community. And I had my husband's support. My husband served in the military for 20 years and is now teaching math at University of New Haven. And I had his full support. He thought, again, that was a great way to give back to the community. And he knows that I've always been very interested in education. I felt that it was very important from the time my children were born. I think every single person who has children, you're your child's first teacher. And so he knew that was important to me, and so in talking about some of the transition happening with the Board of Ed, it felt like the right time in my life to give that a try. So that's how I ended up here.
Well, very good. And getting back to you, Valerie, is this your first elected position in a municipality such as Montville? Or
It is.
It is.
I've had no previous experience with, you know, a municipality or with the board, but I just felt that with my background, being a teacher, and you know, having my kids in the school system and one finishing through the system, I felt it was a good opportunity for me to be involved, and I think use my skills and my background to help with the transition that I feel like Montville is going through in terms of the changes and some additional things I think I could bring to the board. So.
And you, Kim, any previous experience with elected positions?
No, this is my first elected position.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a good bit of civic involvement. I'm the current president of the Rotary Club of Montville, and I'm also active in the Coast Guard Academy Parents Association. I was the past treasurer, and I'm currently the vice president of that group. So I do have some leadership experience, but this is my first elected position as well. And
Now, the Board of Education here in Montville has two main committees, subcommittees, if you will, that are called Policy and Educational Evaluation. I've had each of you appointed to one of those two committees. Let's talk a little bit about what you'll be dealing with as you have these meetings upcoming. The Policy Committee Kim has been assigned to deals with everything that, from transportation issues, policies that pertain to how the transportation unit here in Montville is operated, to security of the buildings. Oh, the list goes on and on and on. And I think I heard you say, Kim, there's over 100 policies that we have on the books here at Montville with our Board of Education. So it's pretty involved committee work. Each time that the committee meets, basically the hour before our regular meeting each month, the Policy Committee meets and deals with 1 to 3 policies, either updating or adding newly to the list of policies that we have. So Kim, how do you feel about getting started with that?
well, I think it's actually it's a good fit for my professional skill set. At Pfizer, the majority of laboratory work I do fall under standard operating procedures. And when I was looking at the school policies and comparing them to the type of standard operating procedures I worked with, I thought, this is a pretty good fit for me. It's nice to see that the policies are well organized. There are a little more than 100 of them, but they're well organized, well written. It seems that a lot of thoughtful work went into making sure they said what they needed to say and that they were clear and specific to the issue at hand. So I'm very happy to be moving on to that committee, and the framework and the structure is there, and so it's a good natural fit for me, so I'm excited to get started.
Excellent. The Educational Evaluation Committee basically meets at the same time as does Policy with another set of Board of Education members, of which Valerie will be a member. The Educational Evaluation Committee looks at new textbooks, programs, software, the list goes on and on and on. And Valerie, I know you're going to be very involved in selecting things that our students from pre-K to grade 12 are going to be dealing with. How do you feel about that?
Again, I think I'm excited by the ability to serve on this committee. I think it fits my background well because, again, being a teacher, I felt that the experiences I've had with not only just the textbooks but technology and just think life skills aspects of things, I think that serves well in being able to work with the committee and bringing out some of the new things that I've been exposed to and presenting that. The other thing too is that I know it's a major undertaking with the states, the Common Core, and the new evaluation system that's been in place. And I think my perspective and my background fits well with it because, one, being a teacher, I'm going to be held to the same standards and the new evaluation policy. So I think I can look at it from two perspectives, being involved in it, but also, too, I think my experience and the fact that I've had to help in trying to set up our own evaluation system within the Department of Corrections for our teachers. I think holds well. You know, I think the two sides that I can look at it from, I think will bring a unique and interesting view from the school board.
You certainly will.
So,
certainly will.
I'm excited. I think the other thing too is that, you know, with our students and life skills, so many times when the kids are in the classroom, you know, they're always talking about, well, how does that relate to life? And I feel with, you know, the things that we're doing with our children now, I think we have to bring more of a life skills approach to what we do with them so that they can relate it and use it in their everyday life. So I think it's going to be fun.
Oh, I know it will be fun. I know it will be fun. And our Board of Education is very fortunate to have you, Valerie, and you, Kim, as new members. We're looking forward to the next 4 years of leadership from you. And I want to let the folks out there in Channel 22 land know that their term of office is 4 years. So that's how that works. We have 9 members on our board. I'd like to name them because we're very, very proud of the workings of our board. We have Jim Wood, who has been on the board for 14 years. Deborah Reed-Eiler, Bob Mitchell, Steve Loyler, Todd Parmesan, 20 years of service on the Board of Education. Carrie Baxter, who has just recently been elected as secretary, replacing Tom McNally, who moved on to the town council in this last election. And myself, I've been on the board for 14 years. I've been chair for the past 4 years. We're very proud of some of the accomplishments that the Board of Education has been cited for just recently. The 3 of us, plus some of the other board members, attended a conference put on by the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education. We call it CABE for short. It was a yearly conference over at the Mystic Marriott, 2-day conference, and we were cited as being a board of distinction by the organization called CABE. Now, the recent press release that we've issued to the media states the following, and I'd like to read it because we're very proud of what they say. The Board of Education in Montville received for the 5th year in a row the CABE Board of Distinction Award. Board members were presented this prestigious award at the CABE CAPS conference, which was held Friday, November 15th at the Mystic Marriott in Groton. The CABE Board Recognition Awards are designed to recognize boards for their effective leadership, which is characterized by their ability to work together as a team. The Montville Board of Education received the CABE Leadership Award from 2002 to 2009. Then, in 2009, CABE established a second level of awards called the Board of Distinction Award. The CABE Board of Distinction recognizes boards which are truly exemplary. Only boards which have received the Leadership Award at least 2 years in the prior 4 are eligible for this Level 2 Board of Distinction Award. The required criteria to receive the award are based on the following 5 categories: board leadership, student achievement, board member professional development, policy, community relations, and related organizational leadership. It's much more intense than just what this news release entails, but nonetheless, we're very proud of what has transpired over the past 5 years in establishing the Board of Distinction receiving from CABE. Now, our meetings are basically once a month. Our general meeting is generally the 3rd Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the high school library. So if you could manage to make one of our meetings or all of our meetings, we'd be very, very happy. I want to again thank Valerie Smith and Kim Navetta for being here on the set with me and getting established as the newest members of our Board of Education here in Montville. That will wrap up today's program. Thanks for viewing and have a good day.